Hello, and welcome to...
How are you, Lovie? How are you getting on?
How are you, Lovie, Carl?
I'm good. What I'm actually trying to do at the moment is get the kids' monitor up on the phone just in case anyone wakes up.
Example of... This is me giving you a pre-she lesson here now. A perfect example of delegation from your end that you don't do.
Oh, I'm a very bad... Why? Because I could have delegated that to you?
You could have delegated that to me.
I could have my arse have delegated that to you.
What? Pull the monitor up so you can listen to the kids?
What app is that? What? I don't understand what app that is.
You haven't even... Sorry, because I really speak like that. And that was actually so jarring in my ears. Sorry for the listeners. But also because you don't... Like, you haven't even given me the name of the app. You just... It's done.
I know, because sometimes it takes so long to explain these things. It's just easier to do it yourself. Oh, God.
Sorry, for the rest of this episode, I'm just going to be in silence. I get given out to, scolded by Carl for sometimes interjecting because sometimes it's easier for me to do myself.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually...
Yeah.
Actually, I did just realise, generally if myself and Ash have a row over something, it's because you interject because I'm doing something, but I'm doing it wrong. Now, when I say wrong, it's not actually wrong. It's just not the way you want it done. And I get annoyed at you.
It's not streamlined enough.
Interjecting. And I actually just realised that is the only time I've ever done that. I'm very bad.
You're bad delegating. It's a lot of the time. And then also... You then let it build up on yourself. So before we started tonight, you're in a bit of a sweat. And you're like, and I also have to do the monitor now as well. You're in a sweat because you've got 10 billion one things to do. But I was like, is there anything that I can take? I've literally just sat on my backside here for the last 20 minutes.
Actually, at one point I was like...
I was scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah, a bit of help would have been handy here.
But you don't say that.
Well, I was thinking it.
Yeah, but you don't say it and you don't delegate.
I was thinking it.
So I was like, you know what? This is the rare occasion that I get to sit on my own without being clawed at via Angie and Carl.
By the children. Let's be absolutely clear. By the children.
No, but the reason why we've the monitor on is because...
Yes. It's very exciting.
We are in new digs.
So... This is something that I've been like hoping and kind of dreaming about for a long time, to build a little work from home kind of office for the two of us and for filming the podcast.
Yes.
And it's done. Well, the building is built and we've got the inside of it almost done. So this is the first time we're recording the episode.
In the new digs.
In here. And we've a little glass of wine.
Ching ching,
It's
Carl.
very nice. Look. This is lovely.
It
with
is
the
nice.
Kids on the monitor. And
it was actually
really
very
nice.
cute last week. We were in here. Oh, sorry now, Carl. Do I need to get you a coaster?
I have. I've already stained the new little table.
Oh, fabulous.
And we've two white chairs that we're sitting on as well.
I have never seen Carl get so uptight when I brought in the red wine glass.
Well, I was like...
And he was like, don't spill that on the chairs.
Yeah, because...
Can I actually, just as another point that I have observed tonight... Whatever the white chairs, we got a lovely leather armchair for our 3rd year anniversary because leather was for number 3.
Yeah.
And Davey figured out he could scratch the stool part of it.
Stupidly, when we were ordering it, they were like, there's a couple of different types of leather. Now, you've got this one and it'll kind of mark, but over time, it ages the leather. I'm like, yeah, that sounds lovely. It'll age the leather.
No,
it'll look
I wanted,
beautiful.
that is what I wanted because we were given the other option. I'm like, I don't want that. I want a leather that will age nicely.
It's a softer leather.
Yes. So Davey figured out within the first week that he could scratch it with his nail, and he's obsessed with car washes, so he draws a car wash brush on most things in life. So he drew like a straight line down and then squiggled
all the way
down. And I was like, look, I'm kind of past the stage of like, it's the era that we're in and also it's aged it already. Carl came in and I've never seen you get annoyed over something that the kids have done, and you turned around and says, that's really bitten my goat there. And I was like, what?
Sorry, whoa.
Bitten my goat. What did you say?
No,
Sorry.
No. Bitten my goat. Sorry. Yeah, that well-known phrase, that's really bitten my goat.
No, you said, sorry, I couldn't think. That's really boiled my piss. That's normally what you say.
I know, I didn't say, no, what is the saying about the goat? That's really gotten on my goat or something?
I don't know. But in other words, you were really annoyed at the fact that this had happened.
I wasn't annoyed at him.
Okay, but that's the first time. Well, you said it. I thought you were annoyed at the kid.
No, of course I wasn't annoyed at him. But I was like, It was one of those things. It was like, I can't believe that that's a brand new chair and already it's marked. But funnily enough, I had this conversation with someone about the chair, but actually, they had a very good way of putting it, and they were like, "That's just the story of the house." And I was
Exactly.
like, "That's
Carl.
actually a lovely way of putting it."
That's it. Right, so I'm going to get on to a few comments then from people that we've got on Spotify first.
Go on.
One made me laugh. Keith, we were talking last week, Carl, about big bags of bottles.
Oh yeah, the big
Yeah.
bag of bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the deposit return scheme.
Yes. And Keith has come in and said, if Carl has 2 bags of bottles, John has 4 bags of bottles, and Ash has 3 big bags of bottles, how many big bags of bottles is there?
Okay, if Carl has 2, John has 3. I actually think he doesn't really want us to calculate it.
I know,
Yeah.
but it reminds me of those jokes. Remember Paddy Englishman, Paddy Irishman? Yeah. I thought it was very good. Thanks for that, Keith. It made me laugh. There's a few interesting ones on the emails. Lisa MacDonald emailed in. She's talking about the DRS stories. And she said she pulled into her local shop, I'm not going to name said shop, in Dundalk.
Right.
Saturday morning, very early, pretty quiet. Black van pulling a trailer came into the car park, and on the trailer there was a recycle bin, a green recycle bin. She had her small bag of bottles, €3 worth max. So I'm there minding my own business, and up comes a man with his daughter with 3 big bags of bottles of the said wheelie bin of bottles and cans. So they would have had a great party, she said.
A wheelie bin full of things.
Yes. And then she said, sickener for anyone behind them because they were using both machines after I moved on.
But actually, see that now with the bottles and then
Yes.
putting them in the wheelie bin. One, I need to have a rant someday about they need to collect the wheelie bins once a week, but we'll get onto that at a different time. What sickened me was the deposit return scheme. They didn't give us notice that it was coming in. Well, I didn't know about it because when we were getting,
What rock is Carl living under?
I would have preferred, right?
Go
And I
on.
think a lot of people would have preferred if you could account for a space to put all the cans and the bottles, because everyone around the country is hanging a bag off a door handle and they're putting cans and bottles into them. It would have been way nicer had we had time to go, do you know what, we should be able to, if we cleared out that shelf, we could fit a bin underneath there, and that can be the deposit return scheme bin.
Gemma Hurley emailed in. She referred back to something that you were discussing quite a while back, about 2 or 3 episodes ago. And she was talking about your mulling it over story about the guy on TikTok who was leaving America and doing 24-hour trips.
Yes, he would go from New York and he was doing 24-hour trip to...
He flew to Cliffs of Moher. He went to Egypt.
Italy.
He did
He
Rome.
still knows
Yeah.
them, yeah.
So she went home to her husband, and after a short discussion, he booked a 24-hour visit to Cologne for himself to visit the Michael Schumacher Museum. They have 2 small kids. Like you, Carl, he's a massive F1 fan and loves Ferrari and Schumacher, and it's been on his bucket list for ages. So flights were €70, accommodation was €100, and the museum was free. And she goes, don't worry, I plan on heading to Iceland next year to take something off my list. All the best, Gemma. Fair play to your husband for doing it. And actually €170 for that little trip,
Yeah.
kid free, seems absolutely blissful. Okay, hit me with it. How are you, Lovie? How are you this week, Carl?
I'm good. We're at the end of a lovely day.
Fab day.
We had Bavian's christening today.
We did.
And we were just saying on the way home, we decided for the last 2 christenings for Davy and Ayla, we did something back in the house. And this time
kept it
around,
really small.
kept it really small. But this time around, we were just like, well, one, let's do something that's a little bit bigger and go out for dinner somewhere. But 2, also, we just didn't want the mess and the hassle of having it in the house. My God, what a great shout.
Yes. Carl, you were a bit hesitant with this at the beginning. And I was like, Carl, for my sanity, I mean, the house could be pristine. And then Ayla Mullan comes in
Yeah.
and turns it into a bomb site
Mhm.
in an instant.
Yes.
So I think it was best that we outsourced and went out.
Well, it was an absolutely beautiful day. It really
It
was.
was
And
fab.
we were just saying in the car on the way home, God, isn't it like so nice when you have an excuse to get everyone together?
Yes.
And like, obviously, like weddings and unfortunately funerals
Yeah.
is generally when you get like family and friends together like that. So actually, it was just so lovely to get everyone
And look, there's
together.
birthday parties and things like that as well. But I think it made us, we were driving away being like, do you know what, we need to just book something in every year
Yeah.
to get all of our loved ones, like we generally do with your side of the family and my side of the family.
Yeah.
But to get everyone together in one room.
Yeah, it was a real just fill your cup kind of day.
Yes, it was lovely. It was a lovely moment between Ayla and I'm very lucky. I have both sets of grandparents still going. They're all in their 90s. I'm actually a little bit like upset, but there was a lovely moment between Ayla and my granddad, so mum's side of the family, and she just sat in his arms. And Nana was singing to her. You're crying as well.
It was so gorgeous. It was so beautiful.
And she just lay snuggled into him, and she never does that. Like, Ayla is a girl that just goes. Like, there's no stopping her. And she's like that doll, you know, when you lie her back and her eyes close, and then once you sit her up, her eyes open.
Yeah, that's exactly what she likes.
Ayla is like that. Like, you wouldn't even know she's tired, and then you put her down and she's gone. Like 5 seconds flat. She's like, okay, no, I am tired. So I have to kind of have her timed, as in like, no, look, this is her window now. She's going, because if I don't, then we're eating into her era of like, she turns into kamikaze. She's dangerous. But she just sat, and I'd say for about a good 5 minutes. And everyone that was there took a moment.
Yeah.
They all captured it. And I was like, oh my God.
Beautiful.
And it was so lovely. And Nana was singing to her. Grandad was rubbing her arm. And I was like, here she is, angelic as anything, with her little pigtails and her little goon on her. And it was fab.
Who sent you then the video this evening with the music from Up to do 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 do?
So Mum had sent me the video, the actual video of Nana singing. And I was like, oh, this is just so lovely. Like, that's why these moments are so precious. And then as I was watching it, I saw Carl's sister sending a message being like, are you ready to cry? So I was like,
God.
Is it Grandad and Ayla? She said nothing and just sent in the side image of them. So you could see Nana more in this one, and she just put up the Up music to it. I was like, oh my God.
You were snot crying.
I've literally, before we started this, that's why if you're watching on YouTube, I'm constantly rubbing my nose, because I'm like, still snotting after welling up a little bit.
No, it was just a gorgeous day. Like, you know, surrounded by friends, family, all of that stuff. So, a nice way to round out the weekend.
A nice way to round out the weekend. It was fab. It was lovely.
How about you? How are you, Lovie?
Well, I am fab. The garden got planted. I've done all those bits.
Yeah.
So I'm getting myself sorted for springtime, if that makes sense.
Oh, Jesus. Lads, I swear to God, to say Aisling has been flat out. We got a load of vouchers for a place called The Orchard in Selbridge.
For our wedding.
For our wedding. And Ash has been making trips out to The Orchard to beat the band the last few weeks.
If I didn't have the kids, I would do it all in one go. But I have to do it in
because you can only fit so much into
in
the
boot.
boot. Yeah. And
with the double buggy.
What I find so funny about you when you're doing the garden stuff, you're like going, so are you happy enough if I get this? And I'm like,
you don't give two shits.
No, not that I don't give you two shits, but I'm like going, like, I don't know. I haven't a clue when it comes to the garden.
But it's also about where I'm planting them at the moment, because I know we would like to get the panelling on that back wall next year. We were going to get it done now, and then our builder was like, don't even attempt that till March. He's like, there's no point, because you'll have to treat it coming into spring.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fair enough. So I've planted everything to leave space for you and the lads to come in March.
And put that up.
So I haven't even planted the amount of stuff that I want to plant.
Well, it's absolutely
I'm trying
beautiful.
to leave you space for March.
Ash has been out fiddling with her bushes out in the back garden.
I trimmed the front bush. My front bush is trimmed.
You actually did trim the bush in the front garden, yeah.
Fabulous.
You did a lovely job of your bush. It was great.
I did. The other thing is I need to make a confession.
Go on.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Carl has this little like guidelines on his eyes.
I kind of feel like,
what do you think this is about?
I don't know. I feel like you're going to admit to something you were wrong with.
That's why that is what a confession is, Carl.
Okay. This is great. This doesn't happen that often.
I put on this denim jacket, and what did I find? I was blaming Carl earlier this morning, being like, Carl, that other car key is in that yellow bag.
Welcome.
So if you took one key out of the yellow bag, the other one has to be in there.
No, but then
he looked at another yellow bag.
No,
and like, it's not that yellow bag, Carl.
No, I looked in the other yellow bag because, and I tried to explain this to you, but because you think that I am a Neanderthal, you just assumed that what I was saying, all that came out of my mouth to you was blah, 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 blah. That's all that came out to you, because what I was explaining to Aisling was, she was like, no, the car key is in my yellow bag. And I said to her, no, it's not, because I couldn't find that car key yesterday, and I found there's two sets of keys.
Yes.
I found a set of keys in the yellow bag.
Yes.
And I know that the set of keys that you used this morning is the one that I took out of the yellow bag yesterday. So I'm telling you now there's nothing in the yellow bag. And Ash was like, I tell you now it's in the yellow bag. All right, you don't listen to me. You just say, do you definitely have them? Blah, 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 blah. So thanks for admitting that you were wrong.
All right, that's fine. And can I also just establish for the listeners, I was I was like that this morning getting ready because I did have everything organised. I had the kids' clothes hanging up.
Bear in mind, getting ready for the christening. Yeah.
The christening, all right. Davey went to swimming this morning, off he went. Everything was done, clothes wash on. Their clothes are out for tomorrow. I baked this morning, did I not, Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl, a couple of weeks ago, his friends decided they wanted to go on a stag because one of the lads is getting married in November.
Yeah.
Slight side tangent to this story.
Right.
Okay. And Carl was like, no, I have a baby's christening. I can't go that weekend. No. I was like, well, when did you fly back, Carl? And he's like, it'll be 10:30 on Sunday morning. And I was like, go. I was like, off you go. Good luck. Goodbye. It'll actually be easier for me over the weekend because the house will be clean and I'll just hang your clothes up. I wish to God you would have gone.
Sorry, how? No.
Do you know why?
I'm not having this.
Do you know why?
No, I'm not having this.
5 minutes before we were about to leave the christening, I asked you, Carl.
Yeah?
Last week.
No, okay.
Are
Let's
you
go.
sorted?
Let's go.
For the christening.
Yeah.
Do you have your clothes?
Uh-huh.
He said yes.
Yeah.
I asked him Friday.
Yes.
He said yes. I asked you this morning because, again, nothing was hung up. So I didn't know what you were wearing.
It was hung up. I checked it yesterday.
Nothing was hung up. You chucked it on the bed in the spare room yesterday, right? Yeah. And I looked at it there being like, either he's not wearing them or he needs to seriously iron them, right? So let me finish.
He didn't need
okay,
to
this was yesterday. Then this morning. Now, another little side tangent. I showed him what Davey was wearing and Carl told me, oh, I'm going to wear something to match him.
Yes.
This morning he wakes up
Yeah.
and he said to me, I'm going to wear the dark trousers that I wore to this and the dark top. And I was like...
Which didn't match Davey.
And I was like, oh, that's fine. But then that jarred at me because I was like, again, that's not part of the plan. My eye was twitching. And I was like, oh. And he's like, what's wrong with that? I'm like, nothing wrong with that. Then I was like, but then I was afraid to say to you because like, if I turn around and say there's nothing that is wrong with it, but you did say you wanted to match Davey a little. And Davey now knows that he's wearing something that's matching Daddy. So in my head... Dave was going to kick off because he wasn't matching Daddy. So that's all I was thinking about. I'm like, I just want this morning to run smoothly. And I was like, no, that's fine, Carl. You were that. But then I was like, I can't say to you.
You weren't like that at all.
I was like, I can't say to you. I did say to you inadvertently. I was like,
no,
I can't say to you something because then you'll think I don't like it. And I don't want you thinking that. But equally, I want to say to you, can you not just go back to the original plan?
The face of thunder.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what.
And then cue to us leaving 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, in 5 minutes, right, to
Yeah.
go to the christening.
Right.
Carl takes out the bloody... No, sorry, I already had the ironing board out. At
It's
8,
not 5 minutes before we left.
8 o'clock this morning.
It's not 5 minutes before we
The
left.
kids, I had
You're
the porridge
so
on.
dramatic.
I had the
It's
porridge
so-
on. The porridge, I dished out the porridge. I took out the ironing board, letting the porridge cool, and I ironed Ayla's guna, and I had a few more ironing bits in my dress to do, right, because I got creased. I left the ironing board there until 10:30 because I knew you had to iron.
Right.
The ironing board is not touched. So I was like, well, fuck him. I'm going to put it away. So I put the ironing board down. And it takes a lot for me to put down an ironing board because it's one of my life skills that I find really difficult is putting down an ironing board. And I was like, I will fucking do this if it kills me. I put it down, put the iron away. And we were wanted to leave at 11:30.
Yeah.
11:15.
It wasn't quarter past
11.
It was not.
Carl takes
You're
out.
actually a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You're lying to
I'm
yourself.
I'm not because I noted the time and everything, especially for the pod.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Carl, cue the very first episode, and you said to me you like your receipts. I love my receipts, so I made sure that
Actually, now that I think about it, we'd said we were going to leave at 11:30, but we actually left at 12.
Anyways, moving on. At every stage, I was like, "Are you ready? Yeah, I'm grand. I'm all good to go. Yeah, I'm all good to go."
Which I was.
I asked him to pack a bag with toys. Who ended up packing the bag with toys?
No.
Carl's like, I'll do that for you. Yeah, just have to do this next.
No, this is a perfect example. Perfect example. This is like a couples therapy episode. Okay, perfect example of how Aisling wants things done a certain way. and sees how I'm doing them and decides to get involved. So you didn't like how I was doing it and you needed me
What's
to...
I not like what you
You
were
wanted
doing?
me... No.
No,
actually,
what did you not like? What did I not like that you were doing?
because I was putting the stuff in the bag,
Yes.
but then you interjected, and it was at that point you were like, you need to go up and iron. You stopped me putting the stuff
No,
in the
you
bag.
were doing something that you needed to do in the kitchen. There was something that you said you needed to do. And the reason why I stopped you putting stuff into the bag,
So you
Carl,
did stop me, though.
I did stop you.
Yeah.
Because there was stuff I had to say to him on 2 occasions. When I said to him to pack the bag with the toys, like empty out what's there, because there's stuff there from the last trip we did out, like bigger trip from when we were in Ramelton, actually.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, empty the stuff out of that bag.
Which I was in the process of doing when you
You
interjected.
didn't empty it out. I then had to. No.
I didn't have a chance to empty it out!
No. When I said it to you first, you didn't empty it out. I interjected because you started looking at the toys and putting the toys into the bag on top of the shit that was already there. And I said, that's when I interjected and I said, empty the stuff out first.
I think I did not. Do you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start wearing a body cam, like one of the US
Do.
cops.
Do.
Just so I can be like, this is... Your experience of the world is vastly different to mine. That's all I'll say.
I'm right on this.
You're not. You're absolutely
taking
not.
out the fucking iron board at 11:15 and we're meant to be leaving at 11:30.
Okay, I will give
Oh
you
yeah,
that one.
I'm good to go. Yeah.
will-
What
I was
about the
good-
rest of us? What about the rest of us? And I said to make Beans bottle. I was boiling her dinner to have her sorted.
Oh my God. Oh, let's build a statue for Aisling.
Fucking
Oh my
do,
God.
yeah. Fucking erect it over your body. Sorry, I love that word. Erect.
Right, mulling over. What's been catching your eye this week?
Let's swiftly move off.
Yeah.
Erect. Catch my eye this week. Well, it was actually something that made me aware, I suppose, within my social media channels. We had our friends over on Wednesday evening,
Yeah.
and halfway through that dinner, one of the girls turns around and goes, "Oh my God, Charlie Kirk's been shot dead."
Yes.
And I was like, "Who is this Charlie Kirk fella?" I thought for some reason, like, is it a footballer? It's not a footballer. And I just had no idea. And then I realised wouldn't have a clue. And I've never seen this person's name on anything that I would be watching, or what's the word?
Consuming. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I woke up then on Thursday morning and I was expecting to see stuff on my chat, like my social media, my Instagram or Facebook, and then there was nothing. And then
Interesting.
yeah, and then it's like, what? Then it made me realise, like, everything is curated. Like, we're aware of it, but then it made me very acutely aware.
How your worldview is shaped by an algorithm.
Yes.
Yes, that's the frightening thing.
That is the frightening thing.
Yeah.
Now, like, I suppose what mine is filled with is like yoga and, like, you know, how to better your moves and things like that. So generally my stuff is that stuff.
Because it's also important to say, like, that's not to say that you've no interest in politics. Like,
No.
I mean, you listen to the news, you watch
Yes.
the news, we would discuss the news ourselves.
Yes.
But I do think the interesting one about Charlie Kirk was that he was the type of character who, for the most part, I think anyone who knew him would have been consuming what he was kind of saying online. But I think you're 100% right there in terms of it's kind of scary how an algorithm can completely shape your view of what is going on in the world.
Yes.
So it will feed you the stuff that it thinks you're interested in.
Yeah.
And that's how, not to get like super deep into this, but that's how like people can get really indoctrinated as well into like certain
100%.
ideas or whatever, because it's just getting served up to them. And then it's like you start to think, oh, well, this is what's going on in the world. I think one of the problems that politics has had is that like certain people have learned like this is a very powerful tool, but then other people have ignored it. And
Yes.
people have probably ignored the whole idea of, you know, not everyone consumes their news from like a news outlet who you hope will give you unbiased and will filter things in a way that like will be fair and balanced.
And normally during the day, I would get something up in my stories. But what I was thinking, with the way I was thinking about it, like, effectively that was breaking news. Do you know that way?
Yeah.
But when I woke up on Thursday morning, knowing that it had happened, and even though I Googled Charlie Kirk the night before, on my Instagram,
Still nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's
now,
mad.
I'd say if I had have gone to like RTE News first or BBC News first, I would have got planted with it. But my first few like stories and on the grid
On your feed or whatever.
on my feed, nothing but Charlie Kirk.
But then, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I wish I had been a bit more protected against it. Sorry, I'm also conscious of the fact, like, a human being was shot dead.
Yeah.
So whether you disagreed with him or you agreed, whatever. Like,
Yes.
so that's not to get into that. We're not.
There's
gonna
a
get
lot worse going on in the world that we can see as well.
Oh, 100%. But that's what I mean in terms of, like, I don't know. I just think there's, like, whatever the social media platform is, there's just so often you open it up and something lands in front of you. And before you even registered that it's something you don't want to see, you've already seen it. People did not actively seek out that video. It was served up to them.
No, it was served up. But that's like saying, like, you also chose to go to the restaurant that night.
No, because you go on to... No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
You go on to Instagram or you go on to TikTok, whatever it is, and you're scrolling through. A video lands in front of you. And you're like, oh, what's this? This is particularly when it was just breaking news, right?
Yeah.
In the first few hours after it. You're like, oh, what's this? And then before you know it, you're going, oh my God, what have I just watched?
Yes. Okay.
And also as well, I like, you talk about like protecting the kids and all of that stuff. And we're saying this very much from the point of view of parents.
Yeah.
But I was in the shop the other day and there was a conversation ongoing amongst, honestly, it was some of the people who worked in the shop. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I actually feel like saying something here. They were discussing what had happened and the video. But it was kind of done in a... We were like, whoa, did you see it? Oh my God. And they were describing it out loud. It was one of those things where you're going, God, are we that desensitized to it that it's just a normal everyday discussion about like, oh, did you see the match of the weekend? Because that's how it was being discussed.
Yeah, but I do think we are desensitized.
That's scary.
You know the news that had broken.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have gone onto your Twitter at that point, only for the fact the news had broken.
Mm.
You proceeded to go onto Twitter. You proceeded to scroll. You proceeded to click on.
It's like I was scrolling knowing it was going to show up.
And that's
true.
where that is your choice. You could put up that filter and you could put up that gate and be like, you do it for Formula 1. You're like, I'm not going on anything.
Yeah, that's so true.
Do you know that way? Because I don't want to see anything or hear anything.
Yeah.
Keep the radio turned off. I don't want to talk to anybody if you're not able to watch the race. So in my head,
that's such a good point.
I'm like, it's a way we almost seek it out.
Without even realising we're seeking it out. Yeah, that's a very
So that's what
fair point.
It's your choice.
Sorry, that's heavy enough, but like at the same time, it's
heavy.
something we've all been talking about.
Bring me back some joy into the day. What do you want to bring to mulling it over this week?
I want to talk to you about car regs. Right now, don't automatically switch off.
Are you buying me a new car?
I am not. Absolutely not. There's a great journalist called Geraldine Herbert. She's a motoring journalist.
Say that name again.
Geraldine Herbert, yeah.
Geraldine Herbert.
She's really... Do you know the way there's some certain journalists you're like, going, I really like their stuff? Geraldine, I always like reading her articles.
Geraldine Herbert stuff, yeah. Go on.
She's great. Anyway, she put up a article in the Indo this week, and it was about Irish car registrations. And I'd kind of heard about this, but I wasn't 100% sure of how it worked. You know, you can reserve a number plate in Ireland.
So, as in 001.
Yeah,
or like 007.
So it doesn't really work.
It doesn't work. That goes like 252D 007 or something.
So in Ireland, how it works with the number plates is ours is quite a regimented system.
Yes.
And a lot of places around the world, there's weird TikTok kind of or YouTube rabbit holes I've gone down, and there's actually some people online who are obsessed with number plates all around the world. But there's a lot of them who are obsessed with the Irish format because it's so logical.
Okay. No, it is very logical.
We don't think of it at all. But like in Ireland, it is the year, the county, the number of cars registered in that county in that period.
Yes.
It's very, very logical.
And then our government, to help car sales, made it
every
they
half
added
year.
a 1 and a 2 every half year.
Every half year, yeah. That came in I think in 2013. And anyone correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I think it was because they were afraid it was going to affect car sales because it was going to be 13D or C or 13.
So?
And they were worried that people wouldn't want a 13 reg. So they changed it to 131, 132.
Okay.
I hope I'm right in that one. Anyway, she was just talking about like Irish number plates and essentially like what the rules are around them. And look, it's what you expect. According to the regulations, the numbers and letters must be black on white reflective background. On the left, you'll see the EU flag with its 12 stars and the letters IRL underneath. Nothing else is permitted. No slogans, crests, or extra marks, because you might see sometimes people with that. And then since the 1st of July 2025, zero-emission vehicles have been eligible for a vertical green strip on the plate as well, which you might have seen going around the place. But what she got into then was the fact that you can reserve your number plate. So if you're interested in reserving a number plate, if you're planning on getting a car next year, you can apply from the 1st of November in the year before you plan to use the vehicle. So, for example...
So before you buy a new car, so if I'm buying a car in 2026,
yes,
even though it's not coming until the year after, 2026, I need to be coming into it
this November
and saying, I want to reserve a reg plate for 26-1.
Yes, exactly. So if you want to secure a 2026 plate, 1st of November 2025, you need to be putting in your application for it. So the number must follow the normal format, match your licensing authority area and correspond to the correct half year. So a plate reading 252D111, for example, can only be reserved by a Dublin resident registering a vehicle in the second half of 2025. Okay? So the one plates in Cork, Dublin, Limerick and Waterford, such as 251D1 or 252C1, they're reserved for the Mayor and the Lord Mayor. They're the only ones who can reserve them. No one else can reserve them.
Yes.
But everything else is up for grabs.
Okay.
So in Ireland, it costs €1,000 to reserve your number plate. Okay?
But see, this is where like car nerds, that to them is nothing.
So, exactly.
Yes.
So it's £1,000 in Ireland. And in our system here, if you don't get the number that you've tried to reserve, it's refunded to you. So it's not like you lose the money.
So it's already taken.
So it's only if you manage to bag the number plate you want, then it'll cost you £1,000, right?
Okay.
But I looked into this and our system seems very fair in comparison to like other jurisdictions.
Right, go on, why?
So well, the most kind of interesting one and the one closest to home is the UK.
Yeah.
Because...
But their system is completely different.
Their system is completely different.
Yeah.
You can reserve plates for like less than €1,000.
Yeah.
Like for a couple of £100, you can reserve a plate. And you do see a lot of cars in the UK with like plates that are clearly reserved.
A name or a word or something, yeah.
So it's easier in one sense to get a reserve plate because it's less expensive over there. But for something that's desirable, holy shit, it gets expensive.
So if it was like bitch or something, like B1.
No, so there's certain things that they won't let you do.
Oh.
Yes, they won't let you do those things. If it insinuates something or it's clear that it says something,
yeah,
then they won't let you do it. But what they do is for some of the more like highly sought after ones, they auction them.
So it's like a bidding war.
Yes. So listen to this.
So go on,
okay?
tell us what. Come on, give me
okay.
something.
I'll start. I'm not going to go with the most expensive first, right? Here's one that I thought might have been the most expensive. F1, right? Like Formula 1.
I'd say it went for about 50,000.
Okay, listen to this.
Go on.
F1 sold in January 2008 in the UK.
Yeah.
For £440,000.
£40,000.
£440,000. It's currently owned by Afzal Khan of Khan design fame on a Bugatti Veyron. Before that, it was on a Volvo S80.
So hang on a second. Can he transfer
Yes.
that F1 plate to any other car that he's driving?
He now essentially owns that plate. Well, I presume you'd have to register it with the authorities, but he owns that plate.
So this is where I get confused, right? You know, over here, and we see a car and they're doing something wrong, and you ring the guards or whatever, you're like, this is the reg plate, go look for it, right? Yeah. What do they do there? Because they can easily take off their license plates and put it on another car.
I do think there's rules around it, and if you're misusing the plate, obviously, like then you can be prosecuted or whatever for that. But yeah, but anyone can misuse plates.
Yes.
Anyone can print fake plates. Anyone can, that does happen.
Okay.
But they have like, it's called ANPR, automatic number plate recognition. They have that. If anyone watched Road Wars, were during the day. It's like
Sorry,
Road
during
Wars.
the day.
Back in the day.
Oh, back in the
day. I used to love
like,
Road
sorry, what
Wars.
are you watching
You're
during
nicked. So they used to use ANPR, and it's a system that they have in police cars. We have it now here in Ireland as well. We didn't have it for a long time. But essentially, the Garda car will be
able to
driving
read it
by.
quite
It'll
quickly.
automatically read the number plates of cars going by it. And if something isn't right, if there's a warrant against like someone in the car, or if there's tax that's out of date, or it's not insured, or whatever it is, it'll ping the car. They can go after them, right?
Okay.
So you have that. But yeah, look,
So
people misuse
F1,
plates.
so F1 was there.
£440,000.
Give me another one.
Do you know what's number one on the list?
Tell me.
Most expensive number plate in the UK is 250, right? 250 is the most expensive ever sold in the UK, going under the hammer for a staggering £518,480 in 2014. So it was once fitted. This is where it probably the value to it comes. It was once fitted to one of the most expensive cars ever sold at auction, a Ferrari 250 GTO. The car sold for £30 million, right? So according to the DVLA, the plate now resides on an altogether more modern Ferrari, a LaFerrari hybrid hypercar. The price of the plate could get you 10 Audi TT RSs, but personalised plate vendors, reg transfers, they reckon it's now increased in value to £750,000. Isn't that absolutely
That's absolutely
nuts?
crazy.
So that's not the car.
That's
Is
the plate.
literally the piece of plastic.
Like, that's like, it's pocket money to these people.
That is not nuts.
What would your reg plate be? I know what mine would be.
Well, okay.
Do
actually,
yours first.
I'm going to talk an Irish plate, not a UK plate. Irish plate. Okay, so let's say I was getting it in January next year.
Yes.
So
it's numbers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can. Okay, but
Tell me what your reg plate will be in numbers then.
261D 5.
What's for
I like the number 5.
I like the number 5.
No,
5. High five.
No, do you know where's the number 5? 5 has always been my lucky number, but the reason why 5 is my lucky number is because at the height of my obsession with the Jordan Formula 1 team,
Yes.
in the year 2000, the year previous they finished 3rd in the championship, which meant that the numbers they had on the car for the year 2000 season was the numbers 5 and 6. So because 5 was the lowest number I'd ever seen on a Jordan Formula 1 car, I was like, that's my new lucky number. And it's just stuck with me ever since.
Carl.
So yeah, mine would be 261D 5.
5.
What about you? If you were in the UK,
If
what
I
would
was in
yours
the UK,
be?
do you not remember what the girls from college call me?
Gash.
Yeah.
Gash would be good.
Gash.
I wonder, does anyone have gash?
Yeah, Gash would be mine.
We'll have a look at
There
that
you
and see
go.
how much it costs you to get gash. That's very good.
Okay, I think we need to end it there. So, do the usual, subscribe, rate, review. We haven't said that in a while. Email. That's the best way of contacting us now, isn't it? We
Yes.
enjoy getting an email.
We do. And you know what? It's been a busy couple of weeks, so we need to we'll give some proper time to some of the emails now next
Yes.
week on the episode.
So email how are you Lovie? Yeah, Lovie, Lovie @gmail.com.
Exactly. It's exactly how it's spelled on the screen in front of you. howyoulovey@gmail.com. Any questions, any comments, anything at all that you would like addressed, go on, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you.
And thanks a million for listening. It was great chatting.
Yes, good luck. Have a great week.
Bye.